Hello gamers and gamers, my name is Mr. Bein and today Overwatch 2 has released. After 3 years of development, the game everybody wanted is finally out. And most importantly, it's free! This means that I can finally play as a super cool robot like I've always Oh, he's not unlocked. Well, I guess I'll play the real Overwatch instead. Yeah, here we go, this is what I want! Look at all those characters! And the robot! Those graphics, oh my god! I'm gonna use my ultimate. Ah! Now that I think about it, this is boring. Wonder if there are any other Overwatches I can play. So, the first thing you notice when starting Overwatch is that developer. Wowee! Oh, and that there's only one hero, I guess. Now, you might think that sounds bad, but I think one hero is a positive, as it makes balancing really hard to fail at. If the one hero is broken and overpowered, or just completely useless, everybody is overpowered or useless, so the meta will be fine and balanced. And speaking of the meta, it is horrible. Your rifle does nothing, the pistol deals almost no damage, and the sword one-shots people. So the current meta of Overwatch is basically one of those redundant sword fighting games, but with the extra ability to shoot nerf darts at your opponent if you'd like to. Enough complaining, time to check out the maps. Overwatch has two maps, DE Cobble and Desert map. Well, it is a desert at least, although I didn't have high expectations, desert maps are never fun. However, I am very excited to see Cobble, so let's check... Surprisingly enough, walking on an endless plain is incredibly boring. I think I'd like to find another Overwatch. This game looks interesting, but it has Overwatch in the name and it says it features multiple occupations, so there should be at least one job I find interesting. I guess I'll name myself Mr. Bein. Illegal? So it turns out shooting Overwatch is actually not an FPS, instead just a very generic mobile game. If you stand still, you automatically shoot at the enemy. If you move, you don't shoot, and all you do is go for a different room and kill enemies. The game is very repetitive, but to compensate for this, the game has 3 different heroes. Hanzo, Genji, and the original character Zarya. Sadly, none of them have voice acting, so I can't just copy the one donkey video. Another feature the devs decided to add to spice up the gameplay is that you can watch a video to become more skilled. But all this means is that you can watch a 30-second unskippable ad to shoot an extra arrow away from the enemy. To sum it up, this game is boring, generic, filled with ads, but worst of all...
lying.
There are no multiple occupations, only one soldier! Or, I guess you might be a mercenary. Maybe a hitman. So, Q-Clash is basically just Overwatch. It's a normal FPS with heroes filling the same niches as Overwatch heroes do, like Sir Knight is Reinhardt and Reaper is Widowmaker. I don't really have much to say, this is just Overwatch. But with one major issue. The robot, where is he? He's the only reason I would ever play Overwatch and he's not here. Why can't anybody make an Overwatch just for me? It's like I'm not their #1 priority. Or what do you think, Bob the Minion? Why don't you make your own of... That's genius! Why didn't I think of that? Oh, Bob, I could marry you. Wait, no. Quiet. Quiet, people. Hello, gamers and gamers. It is finally time for me to announce what I have been working on for so long that this video is probably irrelevant now. Let me present to you the best Overwatch. The Overwatch of Overwatches. The Overwatch that if you don't overly watch your game time, you'll end up playing for days straight. Let me present to you Heaven Watch Free. It's called Heaven because Heaven is over. And free because the game has free heroes. Heaven Watch features multiple different game modes, like 1v1 deathmatch and 1v1 control point, but the control point can only be captured after your opponent is dead. But best of all, when I developed this masterpiece, I learned from Overwatch 2's mistakes. People hate the new skin shop from Overwatch 2 and the removal of loot boxes. From this I deducted that people love RNG and can't stand predictability. Therefore, I have implemented this game's most exciting feature, random damage spread. Every shot can deal between 1 and 10,000 damage, constantly keeping the game interested, as anyone can win at any time. So what are you waiting for? Go play Heaven Watch free now!
Or else.
I'll add a 2 to the end of the title.